All right, y'all. We are live on YouTube. Me and my guy John Keith. We have a major. You don't know the announcement. I know the announcement. So there's a major development in the prize of the remix contest. Okay. That's nuts. I think it's nuts. I'm gonna tell you about it in a second. I'm gonna tell them about it in a second. It's super dope, man. So super dope, and we'll do some Q&A. Zach Sparazzo's in the studio. Shout out to Zach Sparazzo. That's your mic's not really on right now. My bad, but it's all right. Zach Sparazzo here. We're gonna do some Q&A. He's moderating the live stream, and we're gonna tell the story of how we actually met, which is a freaking awesome story. But I'm gonna drop this intro first. All right, King's Dream, ENT, empowering, inspiring people to live out God's dream for your life. That's why we exist. That's why we make music. That's why we do YouTube. Real quick salute to all the Patreons. The reason why we're able to cut like that and have multiple cameras, well, one of the reasons is because Zach Sparazzo's here. The second reason is because the Patreons support what we do, and we love you and we support you. And, man, just so thank you guys. And everybody that's bought merch and supported us, supported Honey Blonde, all that good stuff, man. You guys are, we got a new desk. They can't see the desk. This desk is super fly. And so, yeah, man, I got John Keith with me today, live and in the flesh. There's his handle. Whoop, look at that. No, that's me. Go back to John. He got his handle. Aha. Aha. Follow him on Instagram. See? Once again, salute to all the patrons for holding us down and letting us do cool stuff like have you know, this is why. All right. I'm excited. All right, so check it out. Remix contest. If you didn't know, remix contest, King's Dream 2019 remix contest. First place prize winner gets flown out to San Diego, gets flown back, gets to stay a day in the studio with us, hotel. It's them and a friend, by the way, so it's two. Or if they're in a rap group, it's usually just two of y'all. Second place prize winner, same thing, but you got to fly yourself out, so you get to come in the studio. Media package by Zach Sparazzo. Talking headshots, photos, one-take music video, right? And, you know, this is the first one we've done since 2019. It's the first, since 2016. First one we've done since 2016. But, if you guys have questions, we're going to answer those. You guys could ask in the chat. Zach's keeping an eye on that. But we might do this more often depending on the response. The first 20 people got free hoodies. We blew past that. We're way past 20 at this point. So if y'all show the demand for this, we might do this for like every single album, maybe. It's a lot of work, but I think it could be dope. What you think? You down doing for every time we drop an album?
Maybe. We got to see what it looks like, to be honest with you.
See how it is going through all those submissions.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some crazy, don't say the names, but there's some crazy people that are in the competition that are going to make it very hard. Very hard. Listen, here's the reason for the remix contest. We listen to Fan Love Friday every single Friday. Sometimes Zach is in here. Sometimes John Keith is in here with me. T. Ross. Sometimes Zoe. And I just come across so many rappers on the regular that are making dope music, that are have dope beats and are producing their own stuff. And then I follow them on Instagram and I look and they're literally at like 150 followers or 200 followers. Like, they're just grassroots. And I think the dope part about technology, there's just so many artists out, which is dope because more people are making music and glorifying God with their art. Flip side is it's kind of oversaturated. Like, it's a lot of music, a lot of rappers. And so if there isn't someone kind of curating and someone helping lift artists up and give them platforms, I think it's going to be tough to break more artists, you know, just being completely independent. So that's the issue that I see, and the point of the remix contest is to solve that problem. Now, the announcement. You ready for this announcement?
Yeah, it's been, you hyped this up in my heart.
Yo, okay, here's the deal. Because this is why. I mix all my own music. I mix all of our music. But if I'm actually on a scout for mixing engineer. That's why I'm doing the Reason tutorials low key, right? Because I'm trying to find somebody that's in Reason that could get the mix started and then get it 80%. And I don't have to do all the mixing. I don't mind mixing, but I wouldn't have to do all the mixing. That'd be nice, right? Right. Now, this is probably, I've connected with a lot of engineers. This is probably the only engineer that I would like let touch my music. And we've been trying to collaborate on this for a while. And he reached out on DM. He saw the promo we dropped today, calling out all the, you know what I'm saying, the rappers. And he reached out to me and he said, first place prize winner, he'll mix and master their record for free.
That's fire.
Now, here are his credits. You ready?
Yeah.
CeeLo.
Oh.
Future. Excuse me, his name is Amon A.J. Jackson. That's his name. So shout out to Amon A.J. out of Atlanta. I met him hanging out with DeBaron. We were at a restaurant. DeBaron chopped it up with him. He was a super cool guy. We went back to his studio. We started hanging out. His studio was dope. He kind of like low-key kind of ragged on me a little bit. He's like, what you doing mixing your own stuff? Like, you need an engineer. And I was like, and then he heard my mixing. He was like, you're all right, you're okay. You know what I'm saying? You're good. And so super dope dude, Amon A.J. Jackson. Here are his credits. Okay. CeeLo. Future.
Crazy.
Young Thug.
Ooh.
Rick Ross.
Ooh.
808 Mafia.
Ooh.
Cassius J. Young Jock. I can't go through all of them because there's too many on here. Styles P. Fat Joe. David Banner. Killer Mike. Talib Kweli. Slick Rick. Slick Rick. He makes Slick. Raekwon of the Wu-Tang Clan. Blue. There's just so many on here. I can't go through all of them. Planet Asia. Sadat X. Buckshot. MOP. Okay, check this out. That's 2017. That's just 2017.
Oh, wow.
That's just 2017. List goes on. 2018. Freddie Gibbs. T Grizzly.
Okay.
Stolly or
Oh,
Staley.
They said John's mic ain't on.
Yes, it is.
You sure?
Hey, John, get. Yeah, they said.
His mic's not working?
Turn John's mic up, please. John's mic ain't on.
Okay, I'll fix it.
I ain't said much, but.
Yeah, he really hasn't said a whole lot. But we'll fix it. Talking to your mic?
Yo, check. Oh, it's not.
Is it? See, this is why we need engineers.
Check. Bang, bang, bang.
Give me that XLR cable. It might be the cable. So, mic. That's his mic. What channel is he plugged into? Anyway, so his name is Amon A.J. Jackson. Amazing engineer. I've been trying to connect with him for since I met him. I met him exactly a year ago when I was in Atlanta, and he is a superb engineer, a really dope dude, just like one of those dudes you just vibe with. And low key, I've been trying to get a song mixed by him. His rates are like professional rates.
Understandably
You know what I'm
high.
saying? So like, I'm not in a spot. No diss to you, Amon, but I'm not in a spot to be, dropping $400 to $700 on a mix. So I don't even have a song. Mixed by him, but you may if you win this remix contest. That's crazy. Like, that's dope. Okay, so plug it into channel 1 for me. That's really dope. And so if you guys have questions about the remix contest, okay, talking to your mic.
A chicky
Hey,
check.
John Keith is back.
John.
Nice catch, whoever caught that.
Yeah,
So
that's
shout
nice.
out to Amon A.J. Jackson.
That's tight. That's dope.
That band, like, Cass is like really coming together and rallying behind this thing.
Yeah.
And I think my heart's in a place, and all of our hearts is in a place to help people and bring visibility to artists, and just help people get more shine. So those of y'all that are in the live stream, if y'all got questions, any specific questions about the remix contest, you could ask Zach. Well, you could just ask the live stream. I don't know why I said ask Zach. Zach's there.
No,
and
ask me.
you could ask Zach specifically, and we could chop it up. But that's the big announcement.
Crazy. That's a pretty big announcement. Just to chime in on that a little bit. That's actually pretty crazy. I was like, yo, this announcement better be fire. This man told me before we even started. He said, bro, I got an announcement. I was like, what is it? He said, I'm going to tell you in the stream. I was like, bro, it better be fire because I'm not going to pretend.
I'm not going to
pretend that it's fire if it's not fire. But that's fire. Like, I didn't really care until I started really doing this. I didn't really care about mixing. or how a mix sounded at all. I could barely tell the difference, to be honest with you. And then I started doing it for real, and I was like, oh man, like I don't really like this mix, or this mix is super dope or whatever. And to hear that, y'all, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit jealous.
I'm jealous.
I want to enter the remix contest. Right? Let me enter it. I'll win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
and I've worked with different types of engineers. I've been around like those really, like those just next level engineers. I don't even consider, like, I can mix, but I'm not like a mixer. Like, there's guys that like live and breathe that world.
yeah, it's like,
you know
it's like I can produce, but I'm not a producer.
Right.
I'm
Right.
not, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? There's just a different level of thinking in that.
Right.
It's like
And
they
this-
take, like,
There's folks that are passionate.
Exactly. They
Like
take
I can
pride
get
in
the
their
job
craft.
done, but I'm not like
exactly
in that world. And so Amon,
You can just see
AJ is super dope, man. So
you can see the attention to detail.
yeah, we're
right
gonna
here.
add all that to all the descriptions and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so we just added that.
That's crazy.
We just added that. That's crazy. Professionally mixed song by Amon AJ Jackson. Credits like Future, Young Thug. And you know what? He was giving me, you don't know this, but remember when we were working on Lost Boys and I was trying to get a specific auto-tune sound on Lost, that's who I actually went to. Like, what are you doing on Future vocals and all these different vocals?
For what's it called? For Lost Boys.
For Lost Boys, yeah, for Lost
the-
Boys. So he gave me some really good game about auto-tune and the way that Atlanta auto-tune sound comes and how, you know, I'm not gonna give away the secrets, but I got some game. You know what I'm saying? From
Jokes
him.
on y'all chumps. Don't know nothing. I'm playing.
So if they got questions, Zach, they could ask. I wanted to share the story with you about how we met. We've never shared this story publicly.
When do you want to share questions? Because I got questions.
You got a lot of questions? Should we do questions or should we share the story of how John Keith
I
and
think
me
share the story
met?
quick, and then we'll
It's not a quick story. It's not a quick story. We're going to draw it out.
Well, how about this? We're going to share the story, and then we're going to answer your questions.
right.
Because people will probably ask questions about the story, too. So, look, man, look.
freaking love that.
I went to Cornell. Don't at me.
Ooh.
I didn't go to
He
Cornell.
didn't go to Cornell.
Paul did. All right.
Paul Russell went to Cornell. So the year was 2015, and your cousin, who's a great dude,
Yeah.
goes by the name Air Wallace,
Yeah.
was coming to the movement, going to our Bible study.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing this Monday night Bible study. This is my first year going full time with music. It's right around the time I quit my job, 2015. And he started coming around. He's kicking it, and super cool dude. And I remember.
Shout out Jay. Shout out Javid.
Yeah, Javid. Shout out to you, man. Because you really, like, I would have never met John Keith without Javid. And Javid was in our Bible study, and Javid was cool because he wasn't one of those dudes that came around and was like trying to get on, like, and trying to rap, right? Like he came around and was like didn't say anything about rapping for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know he was a rapper.
Yeah.
And then the day one of the days before or after we left on a Soul Rebel tour, I don't remember. I think it was when we got back. He was like, "Yo, man, can I take you out to lunch?" And I was like, "You're a rapper, aren't you?" I was like, "You're a rapper, aren't you?" And he was like, "What? How you know?" And I was like, I could sniff out a rapper a mile away. and we went out to lunch, and we just started chopping it up, and we started connecting. And, you know, he played me some of his music, and he was super, super cool dude. We still follow each other on Instagram. I haven't seen him in a while. I don't know last time you've seen him.
I seen him. I mean, like, I barely see him.
You see him too? Okay.
Yeah.
He's doing like a lot of spoken word stuff. And so Javid was coming around, and long story short, the remix contest came around. And the way we do the remix contest, I don't know if we're going to do this one this way, but the way we did that one is like we only heard the top 10 or 15 submissions. So there was like over 100 people that submitted. This was the Good Religion remix contest, the very first one we did in 2016 for the Good Religion album. We just did one for the album. This year we did it for all the albums. We did that for the album. Same setup, same pricing, whatever. Same prize, I think. And guys like Shaiwan entered, and it was dope. It was dope. So we only got to hear, Belief Gibbs, we only got to hear the top like 10 or 15 submissions. Eric Kingsley and Anthony Cruz went through everything else. And so, you know, they're tough. Like, they're tough when it comes to music.
Harsh,
they're harsh. And
Great
so if like
guys,
your
harsh,
mix is trash, if your vocal quality is trash, you know what I mean? Like, they're just like moving on. And so I remember this is so crazy. I remember so vividly. I was at the gym, crunch, This is fat Ruslan. This is not skinny Ruslan. This is when I was like 210 pounds. Technically obese. That's crazy. That was 210 pounds.
That's
technically
crazy to
obese.
think that Ruslan was ever obese. This man got a 6-pack, guys.
Yeah, I got a 4-pack. I'm working on the bottom. So I'm at Crunch, and I remember Javid, Air Wallace texted me. He's like, "Yo, man, like, I can't believe we didn't make the remix contest. Like, we didn't make it top 3." And I was like, "Oh, bro, I didn't even hear the song. Like, I didn't even resubmit it." And so he's like, "Yes." I was like, "Send me the submission." So he sends me the submission, and I was like, "Yo, I see why this didn't make it." You know what I'm saying? But who's the dude on the second verse? And he was like, "That's my cousin." And I was like your cousin? Like your blood? He's like, "Yeah, like that's my blood cousin. His name's John Keith." And I was like, "Oh, he's dope." Like I just remember typing like, "He's dope. He's freaking dope." And at that point, you had already came to the Good Religion listening party. I remember seeing you there. You came to the open mic, and you came to my Americana listening party, and you were just around. Like you were just in the mix. You were coming out. You were supporting, and
I was fanboy.
And that's how I stumbled across John Keith's music. He didn't even make it in the top 10 submissions on the remix contest.
So I didn't win, but I won.
Yeah, right. And just pick it up from your side. So then, so did you even hear about me like hearing the remix? Or, like, did you hear that story?
So like my side of the story was like this. I wanted to do the remix contest. I ain't had guap like that. My cousin was like, "Bro, let's enter the remix contest, like, and then we'll just do both of us, and like we'll just blend the different." He had a really dope idea. He's like, "Yo, let's blend the different tracks. We'll take the first track and blend it with whatever one you want to choose. Like I'll do that intro track. You can do whatever you want to choose, and then we'll both go in on going left." Yeah. And
this man had a vision.
Yeah, he's a visionary. You know what I'm saying? And so he was like, "Yo, let's do that." I was like, "Dope." So he paid for it. You know, I wrote it's funny. My verse, I picked "Shoot Me." Mm-hmm. My verse is still on SoundCloud.
Is it still up?
Still up right now.
That's dope. We should go. Yo, you got to show me that. I'm going to repost it from the King's Dream and tweet it and stuff like that so people can hear your. We could do that. Yeah, because I got it set up where we could do that, actually. Yeah, that's dope. Go ahead.
We should do that. So I did that, and man, I was like, man, yeah, like this is the one. This is dope. Because I was a huge fan. Like he said, my cousin, he picked me up. Shout out Javid once again. He picked me up. He said, "Yo, they're having a Dream Junkies Good Religion album listening party in North County." I was like, "Wait, what?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Doggy, no." He's like, "Doggy, yes." So he came and scooped me up, me and my cousin Azariah, and we went, and we were late, and we go in there and we sit in the back. I think by the time we got in there, like you guys were like already past the first 3 songs, but I was just so late. But CPT. And so like I was just so stoked to be in the room though. Like we were looking, I was like, "Yo, that's Gibbs. Yo, Ruslan, please, like, yo, they right there." Like I'm legit. I was a fanboy. You know what I'm saying? Like I was freaking out. We were like, "Yo," he was like, "Yo, chill out, be cool." I was like, "All right, got you. My bad. I'm sorry." And then like we, I tried to talk with them afterwards. You know what I'm saying? But there was a lot going on, and so like we went home. I was like, "Man, that was dope." And then like I just became more of a fan. You know what I'm saying? And then we went back, and a little while after that is when did the remix contest. He's like, "Yo, so let's do this." So we recorded it. I was like, "Man, it's done. We got this. It's over. Like we're gonna, bro, we got it." I was like, "Bro, top 2 at the very least." And then
he didn't know they were competing against dudes that like shot new music videos.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Like, redid the beats and like rapped over them.
Bros
like,
was out here doing all that. I just wanted to rap, and so like we submitted, and we're waiting, and then they had announced the winner, and I was like, "That don't make no sense. That's not us. What in the world?" And he was like, "Bro, I know." He's like, "I'm gonna text him." And he's like, "All right." So he had that full conversation, and he was screenshotting the conversation as you guys were having it and sending it to me. I was like, "Dang," Cause like Ruslan was kind of harsh too. He was like, man, bro, the mix on this is not good. Shout out A-Tracks because it was his fault. He was like, yo, the mix on this sounds like it was mixed, like it was recorded on an iPhone 5. What happened? And he was like, dang, man, he's sending me this. And I'm like, dang, bro. I was like, we took an L. And then he sent me the next one. It's like, yo, who's the guy on the second verse? And I was like, this is either going to be very good or very bad. And he's like, oh, that's my cousin. He's like, yo, he's fire. And I was like, threw my phone up in the air. I was like, and 10 out of 10. Yes. I was like, I was feeling it. I was all over it. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
And this is all 2016.
Yeah.
It's all
And then
2016.
so,
and we really like started kicking it. What year? 2017? The end of 2017.
yeah, it was around the end.
Okay.
Yeah, around the end of 7/20.
Yeah.
7/20.
17, 20.
And so yeah, we did that, and then, but like still nothing came of that. We went to the one of the things for the winner was they got to perform at the open mic.
Yeah.
And so, I remember I was so excited to go to that open mic. Matter of fact, I had posted a verse on Instagram, and Jay Ruckers commented on it and was like, "Yo, you should come and rock this at the open mic."
But you
and
was
like,
late, weren't you? Again.
I was like, "Yo, this is I didn't have a card at either one of these times, and so like, I was so ready for that. I was like, "Yo." Jay Ruckers. I remember I told my dad, I was like, yo, Jay Ruckers, he's a producer that works with the Dream Junkies, said like I should come and do like this verse at the open mic. Like that's how much of a fan I was. Like, yo, just excited to get like interaction with one of the producers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we was late, didn't get to do it. Shout out.
I remember you
shout out
hanging around
A-Tracks.
afterwards. Like I remember. I was like, who is that kid?
Fun fact. There's actually two fun facts to that. First fun fact, that's where I met T. Ross the Giant.
Was that 2017 or 2016? That's 2016.
That
was Americana. Americana came out in 2016.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's 2016 still. That's where I met T. Ross the Giant. Then also fun fact that I didn't find out until recently. My girlfriend was there, and I didn't know.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know that. But I remember seeing T. Ross the Giant like before he went up, and I was like, "Who's this Mac Miller?"
Yeah, they killed it.
And they
T. Ross
killed
and
it.
Charlie Powers were doing stuff together.
Yeah, they killed it.
They smashed it out of the park.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like
That
after
was dope.
when they went up there, like all their friends and everything went crazy. Belief grabbed the mic and said, "Hey, y'all better not leave when they done." I was like, "That was funny."
Yeah. But y'all ain't got no love for Snoop Dogg. East Coast, they got no love for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. That was like the source moment.
Yeah. So I mean, I
it was
2016.
2016 when we started hanging out.
Yeah.
Because I remember it was November 2016. I think you came to the Americana thing. And at that point, I felt like I already had kind of checked for some of your stuff. And then I remember it was like November around Thanksgiving time.
You came
I
down
came to the moniker.
And
I was like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, let's work together.
You know what's hilarious?
Huh.
Bro, this is just a funny little side story. This was so funny. I was trying to holler at this girl.
I remember that.
Yo, this is crazy.
I remember that.
It was 2016. I was trying to holler at this girl that was at this party at the moniker that we were at. I wasn't even supposed to be there, but my homeboy was Adrian A-Tracks, a.k.a. Wowie, was working it. He was working the event, so I was just kicking it there with him, and there was this girl, and I was like, yo, I'm going to go holler at this girl. So I went, tried to holler at this girl, shut down. Wasn't feeling it at all. And then Ruslan comes through. She came over, and she was like, are you Ruslan? And he's like, yeah. She's like, oh my God, your music's great and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, yo, you should check out John Key's music. And she's like, oh, you do music?
Yeah, I was trying to
You
get you
do music?
I was
like, yeah, but now I don't want you because you shut me down. Peace
all I
out.
remember is she followed me on Instagram she was already following me on Instagram. She's like, check out my Instagram. And I just remember her having this like super burly looking boyfriend with a big
it's actually crazy because I didn't know she had a boyfriend, and it actually turns out I know her boyfriend. Homies. And I was like, what? Okay, that's random. But
and so that was the end of 2016, the beginning of 2017, February 2017, almost 2 years ago to the date. We did the event, the King's Elect launch, and I remember loving the event, loving the energy, loving your hustle, And I was like, yo, this kid got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this kid, I remember bringing some sound stuff, some lights. You guys had the venue. There was like 200 people. I actually did a vlog about it.
There was 250.
There's a gang of people there that night. I did a vlog about it. That's actually still on this YouTube page.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I shouted you out in the vlog and the whole thing. So, yeah, he doesn't watch my vlogs. So I think that's a cool story. Listen, I know people were in different seasons. You were not in a position where you could even submit for the remix contest financially.
I couldn't do it.
Right? And you were in proximity. And I think here's what I want to touch on just briefly. There's a lot of people that are like kind of not pushing back, but there's just like, oh, y'all are charging for the remix contest. You know, like I kind of sense that. And it's like, first of all, bro, no one else is providing the type of prizes we're providing.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? And second of all, there has to be a level of self-investment in yourself if you're serious about music to get to that next level. You just have to, like, you have to be willing to invest in yourself. If you're trying to start a clothing company like what Kings Elect, you guys were buying merchandise and t-shirts and like taking your own money, investing it and flipping it. You know what I'm saying? One of the things I do, I've talked about a little bit on this channel, is my NACA submissions. Every year going back to 2008, I've spent at least $500 a year submitting to NACA. Every single year.
It's crazy.
Usually in the 700s. Those first couple of years, we didn't have an agent, so we'd have to spend $800 for the membership and then spend $100 per submission. And then if you got selected, you have to pay for your submission. So like I sent the paperwork in today I had to pay $300 to showcase because I got the showcase. So I got to pay $300 to showcase. I'm doing the Northern Plains Conference in March 31st. So I'm like super excited about it. It's in Minneapolis. It's like I've never done this conference before. And y'all don't know that NACA is the very way how I was able to do full-time music, because I was able to do these college shows. I felt conflicted charging churches thousands of dollars, but I knew colleges would pay me thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? And I knew I needed to make thousands of dollars per show to go into full-time music. And so I started doing this in 2008, 2009. I met a young lady named Iwande. She came to Cal State San Marcos. I was still in school. She performed. Me and Belief was there. Somebody was like, yo, you should go and freestyle. People knew I rap because I was in the music department. So I went and rap. And she was like, yo, you're super dope. And I was like, thank you. And I was like, how are you doing these shows? And she was like, have you heard of NACA? And I was like, actually, I have heard of NACA. I had heard of NACA at the time being a spoken word pro. And she was like, you need to be a part of NACA. Like, you need to submit. You need to figure it out. Do it. And I was like, yeah, but it costs a lot of money. And she was like, baby, you got to invest in yourself. And she said that to me. And it was so, it just pierced my, it just pierced my soul, the way she said it. And I stayed in contact with her, and she was very helpful. But 2008, every year, if it wasn't the breaks, it was Ruslan solo. If it wasn't Ruslan solo, it was Dream Junkies. It was back to Ruslan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I submitted and some years I wouldn't get selected. I'd spend $500-$600, wouldn't even get selected to showcase. This last year I didn't get the showcase. So I'm showcasing. This is my first time. Last time I did a showcase was NACA West. Charlie Powers was actually with me.
Oh, okay.
2017 NACA West, that showcase. That led me to getting a couple colleges. Remember that show me and you did, Zach, in Seattle? Everett College, that was a NACA show. Yeah. Cal State San Marcos, that was a NACA show. So Zach came along to these shows. So I say all that to say, I'm living, breathing, being willing to invest in myself and take my art seriously. And I recommend you guys, this isn't like some, bullcrap remix contest. Like, we're really putting our money where our mouth is. Flown out to San Diego, media package by Zach Sparazzo in the studio, me and John Keith. If we could plan a show around it, we'll probably have some type of event around it, so you'll probably get to perform. And now my man Ahmad, AJ Jackson, worked with Future, Young Thug, and you get a professionally song mixed and mastered. I'm gonna tell you right now, just talking to him a little bit, I was trying to get Andy to work with him, because Andy was looking for an engineer, and so him and Andy so I was trying to get Cass to work with him, and I just dog, I can't afford it. I can't afford $300 to $700 a mix. You know what I'm saying? There's just no way. And so, it's a lot. Yeah, man. So anyway, you got anything to add to that, just in terms of investing in yourself? Again, we both grew up similar, not having a lot of money. You know what I mean? And you just literally did not have money. You didn't have a car. but you figured it out. Like, you still got to these places. You figured it out how to do it with your cousin. You know what I'm saying? You partnered up with somebody. Do you want to add anything to that?
I mean, to be honest, I mean, I feel like now. See, here's the thing. Like, you guys kind of got a different Ruslan than I got. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ruslan has always been like kind of like a teacher, kind of like a adding value kind of person, but not to the extent that it is right now. You know what I'm saying? So like, I wasn't even thinking like that. I wasn't thinking like, yo, I need to invest in myself. Yo, like, this could possibly happen. Yo, I was just thinking, hey, I'm just glad to be here and want to rap. And you guys are some of my favorite rappers. And boy, am I lucky. Like, it's just different. You know what I'm saying? So like, I definitely say that, like, take advantage of this. Take advantage of Ruslan. No, no, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, enter the remix contest. If you're really about this, you're really like, yo, I really want to do music. Like, there's opportunities, there's relationships that get built from this. Like, I never thought any of the stuff that's happened to me since I, entered that remix contest would happen ever. You know what I'm saying? And also, don't be discouraged if you don't win.
Yeah.
Like, God's plan.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. And just to add to that, I would definitely encourage you guys to keep pressing in, man. Like Belief would always used to tell me, like, bro, you're giving away too much. Like, you're giving away too much. Like, stop giving Cass the rule book. Like, the whole game plan. Like, and I was just like, yo, there's no secrets. Like, I'm gonna give everything I can. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially to people that are down and to support. Like, the Patreon people, they get the weekly call. Every single week we hop on a big Zoom call. I posted a couple of those clips. Like, we really be going in from setting up their merch to setting up their beat stores. And so, like, I don't know, like that's just always been my mentality. There's a Zig Ziglar quote that said, the fastest way to get to your dream, to get to where you want to get to, is by helping as many other people get to what they want to get to. The fastest way to get to where you want to get to is helping as many other people to get to what they want to get to. I'm probably butchering that quote. Zach, let's do some questions, man. There's a good amount of people probably asking.
All right, so I'm gonna start with the remix contest questions. I'm gonna scroll to the top here, and oh yeah, okay. Do they pick only one beat?
They can pick. I pulled up the website right here. They could pick as many beats as they want, so they can take.
And you put it into one song though.
Yep. It's one submission. You get one submission per kit or whatever. So you could take as many. You could do a whole compilation. You could shoot a music video.
You trying to do Five Fingers of Death type situation, huh?
They could do that.
That's what you want to do.
Just
okay.
Yo, at the end of the day, we intentionally didn't make this like with a bunch of restrictions. Like, pull something and be as creative as possible. Yes. And know that Cass is coming for your juggler.
No,
like,
for real.
Like, Cass is doing music videos. They're really trying. Like, they're about it. And so, yeah, just be as creative as possible. And make sure it's as good. And that's, like, watch the mixing tutorials I'm doing. I'm covering very basic, rudimentary stuff that anybody could follow along with to give you that edge from a sonic standpoint. You know what I'm saying? What else? Other questions? It's a great question.
I'm trying to find some that aren't super. Any tips for someone who wants to songwrite, produce? Kind of open-ended.
Yeah, enter the contest.
Yeah, I think now is the era of personal brand. So if you're trying to be a behind-the-scenes guy, it's a really tough. Unless you're super connected, it's really tough to try to be a behind-the-scenes guy right now. So I would say, like, figure out a way to still build your own thing, even though you may want to be a behind-the-scenes guy, unless you're just super connected. Like, I think the days of, like, the John Billion, the guy who's behind the scenes and wrote hits for Eminem and then became an artist from, like, I think those days are gone, just because of, to even get in the room, you either got to really, really, really know somebody, or you have to be building your own thing, or probably both.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Probably both. Like, you were on the Reach Records Christmas album. right? You and Paul, and you guys are really, really good, but you're building something really well, and so there's eyeballs on you, and there's relationship there. There's this circle, this community. There's us going to Reach and hanging out and spending the night in the studio. And the whole like we've been there quite a few times, and so it's just like proximity, relationship. You know what I mean? On top of having personal buzz and clout, on top of being really good. It's not really the time to just be like, oh, I just want to be a writer, man. I don't want the spotlight. I want to be behind the scenes. Like, man, you better,
you can do that, but you better go apply to Home Depot.
You better be you better be cousins with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so serious. You know what I'm saying? You better be cousins with somebody.
So, we don't. Is there a length limit on the submission?
Like a time limit? Were they gonna do a whole album?
You're gonna do a 15-minute song?
Hey, here.
Don't make no 5-minute song, dog.
Yeah. You got to keep attention. Like again, not to
make a good song.
Make a great record. Like make a really, really, really. Yo, bruh.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
So Mon just texted me. It said we're closer to 1,200 to 2,300 per mix now.
This is the kind of. No, I don't care. This is the kind of mix you guys are getting.
Is he in the chat?
He said something. I just didn't know whose channel it was.
Bruh.
I'm so jealous. Hey, you know what? Y'all really better. Y'all better come with it because I'm about to enter the remix contest now. Yes, I'm entering it. John Keith is entering the remix contest 2019.
Yo, this man said 1,200 to 2,300 a mix.
Bro.
So,
Jesus.
Guys, we have.
It's Lord.
We have a lot of comments, but.
No questions.
It's mainly about this kid Daniel, who just went through a breakup, and everyone is like consoling him in the comments.
What are y'all doing? I'm sorry, Daniel. What happened? No, don't tell me what happened.
Hey, the chat took on a life of its own. We're over here telling like
they're like accountability. They're like giving advice and stuff. It's
hey
man, we have a great community.
Praise God.
Somebody said, "Can one of y'all just email each other through Google? What is going on?"
Yo, Daniel, hang in there, bud.
Someone said, John, your yawn is contagious.
Oh,
it's a fact.
But they also spell your name with an H.
Yeah, so shut your mouth.
That's very disrespectful.
I don't know who that is.
Wow.
I don't know no John.
Question about the contest. What's the limit
on what you can do for a submit job? Music videos are cool. Or
Absolutely. The more creative you can get, the better. If you want to submit a music video, I would encourage you, if you have access, submit a music video, because it's just gonna give you an edge. But make sure it's good. So if you're gonna do a D- music video with the A+ song, don't do that. But if you could do a B video and a B song, do that. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question.
Yep.
How are we choosing the winner?
Man, me, you, Paul, Zach will choose the final. Like, what I'm thinking is we'll do something similar where there'll probably be, I'm guessing, over 100 submissions. And then I'm going to assign some virtual interns, Lionel Crispo, and like guys that are like really into music, like that help me out behind the scenes, and just get people that want to go through the process of just going through everything, and get them to kind of go through like the first batch of submissions and just kind of weed out all the really bad stuff, and then go on to the second batch.
So I'm saying right now, you guys, give it 150%. Cause I'm a nice guy. I'm a funny guy. I am funny guy. I'm a funny guy, but I'm not light when it comes to this stuff. I'm not gonna go easy.
All right.
It's bad. I'm skipping it.
Someone said, "What's NACA?" Did you already explain that?
NACA is the National Association for Campus Activities. They do these conventions annually. There's like 7 or 8 that happen, and they're in different regions. Basically, all the colleges come from a region to watch up-and-coming poets, singers, comedians, magicians, rock bands, you name it, everybody's there. This is like Kevin Hart talks about NACA in his book. This is like Jerry Seinfeld, like some of the dopest magicians, some of the dopest artists, and some kind of like B-level celebrities are still a part of NACA. Like Chrisette Michelle was at NACA last time I showcased. And so anyway, they go there. You showcase in front of all the colleges from a region, not all, but the colleges that want to be there. So sometimes there'll be 100 colleges, 50 colleges. They'll all bring teams of like 2 to some have 20 people with them. You showcase in front of these different teams, and if they like you, they book you. And so for me, this has always been an in, because you guys, I mean, Christian music has changed a lot, but my music was always too worldly for the Christian for the Christian market, and too Christian for the secular market. Like I could never fit in. This is like when I was doing solo stuff, the breaks, it doesn't matter. And so for me, NACA was a way to start doing shows, to start getting paid, to not, and this is not to knock anybody that does churches, but to not be a burden on the church. You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain churches that got great budgets and they book us, and we love you and we will go out there, but it's easier kind of throwing our own shows around bigger NACA colleges. And so at a NACA show, I could make anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500 just by myself. You know what I'm saying? Where usually we'd have to charge, you know, at least that to try to bring me and John out, or me, John, and Paul. Like we'd have to charge way north of that, 3, 4. You know what I mean? So for it to make sense for us, especially now, like John works a job, Zach has clients, I'm in this crazy gym routine where I'm up at 6 a.m. For me to leave my family, like it costs. And so colleges just pay better. And above all else, for me, I don't have to be a burden on the church, and I don't have to, I get to be in front of non-Christians. And that to me is super important. I've always seen my music as a vehicle to evangelize and contextualize what being a Christian is to non-believers in a relatable way. And so it's just a great way. And again, like you guys don't see a lot of it because I don't really put it all out there, but there's some really cool stuff, man. Like did Cal State San Marcos and opening up for Marquis Basie, and it was like 500-600 like not saved college white kids, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it was super dope, and like they loved it, you know what I mean? So yeah, any more questions?
Yeah. How does KD handle business structure, cash flow, allocating percentages of revenue for business expenses, artists, marketing?
It's a question for me. So basically,
that's a great question. So one, we're at LLC. We've been at LLC since 2016. So just so you know, from a business standpoint. So basically, how we try to structure marketing for albums and the setup of an album is we take the pre-order money that comes in directly from the website, and we say, okay, boom, that's now the budget. So if John Keith pre-orders 150 copies of merch and CDs, we take that money, we pay Zach, we pay for the merch, we pay for the manufacturing of the CDs, we pay for what else? What other expenses are there? It'll be like a couple $1,000s that come in from a pre-order campaign that pays for the record, essentially, and then that's how we structure it. But now what we really want to do is sometimes a record may not hit well on a pre-order. Like Honey Blonde hit well pre-order. My stuff usually tends to pre-order pretty well, but like via text, people didn't really know what to do with that album. Didn't do great for the pre-orders, but it's doing really well on the streaming. So with Patreon, that becomes a more consistent revenue stream for us to take money and say, yo, every time we drop a video, we could put $200 behind Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube ads. You know what I'm saying? And now there's a consistent stream of income, regardless on what album's coming up or what's happening. We know that there's money allocated every single month for budgeting, even if we don't do any shows and we don't drop any merch. So I'm trying to get better at that. I'm more like a big, real like Dave Ramsey fanatic. You know what I mean? So I don't believe in debt. I don't believe in like overspending on stuff, which is why we do a lot of the stuff you guys see is in-house. It's literally me. My wife handles all the fulfillment, so have grace on her if something's late. And Zach Sprazzo handles most of the visuals and the photos. And we mix it in the house, and we have a very small circle of producers we work with, and usually all the music you're hearing now is probably us producing it or somebody that we're super close to that that's working with us and understanding that like it's not super lucrative. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not super lucrative. And then Music Bed and the sync licensing is probably like the biggest consistent revenue stream is like the sync licensing that we get from songs that have been out, for a while. Like John Keith just got his first big sync licensing check last month, right? January, and I think it was like, I don't know, it was like $500-600. You know what I'm saying? That was his first check. And so that's what we really want to build. That's why there's no samples in our music. That's why a lot of it is us producing it, is because of the sync licensing. Sync licensing is when your music gets in commercials, movies, TV shows, YouTube channels, that kind of stuff. So, wow, that was a lot. Let me see. What else?
Stop asking those kind of questions.
Well, that's just about it.
All right. What is the best way to make your sound quality from?
Your stance, because I would really love to make my sound better.
Watch my YouTube tutorials. Watch mixing tutorials, as many as you can, because wow, he just totally got you blowing a kiss.
Yeah, that was meant to be.
Wow, that was supposed to happen.
Yeah, that was supposed to.
Watch mixing tutorials, man. You guys don't really understand how important mixing is. Like, mixing is super important, and like I learned so much about mixing. I talk a lot about mixing with different engineers. I'm not naturally like a dude that's super passionate about it. It's one of those things, like I got to mix Paul Russell's record right now, and it's one of those things like I can't do it with people around. I kind of got to be by myself, get in this very specific type of zone to mix, man. And so mixing is super important. The process of compression, EQ, you know what I'm saying, that kind of stuff. This camera's dying. Cut the thing. Boom. The feed. Any other questions?
I have a good one.
Oh, one of them says, "What up, Zach, my dog?"
Would you ever collab with an artist who does secular music?
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. Well, that was easy.
If it's good,
Yeah,
not
if it's
just for
good.
the sake of them being secular.
Yeah, if it's good and they're respectful of, you know, what we do. Like John Bellion is technically a secular artist. You know what I'm saying? I would do a song with John Bellion in a heartbeat.
We got a homie who actually I plan on doing a song with Wave IQ.
Oh, he's super dope.
He's super dope. We're gonna
Super
it's
dope.
gonna be crazy when we
Signed to is he signed to Jaden Smith's label?
Yeah, he's on Jaden Smith's label.
Joseph Cabello said, "Y'all ever think of making y'all own donation website or perks website?"
It's called Patreon.
And then everyone jumped in like, "Yo, it's called Patreon." So luckily for you, Joseph. just hop
Yeah,
right over
Joseph.
to our Patreon.
Patreon.com/KingsDream. It's actually in the description of this video, and it's the
Yeah.
pinned comment.
Yeah.
All right, and nothing else? We good?
No. Oh, how does a collab with King's Dream artists and a Reach Records label work?
Ace texts me and says, "Hey man, I really hear so and so on this record," and I say, "Sweet," and we get it done very fast, and we pray that it lands. Reach is super cool, man. They're the homies. Yeah, they just reach out, you know what I'm saying? We chop it up. Ace is doing great work over there. Ace is like their head A&R, producer, creative director. He
Yeah.
wears multiple hats, and he's kind of the genius behind everything you're seeing.
Yeah, just like Levi is our head A&R here
That's a
at
fact.
King's
okay.
Dream.
Levi's the head A&R, but I'm not.
No,
I'm
Zach, you're not.
pissed.
Zach, you're not.
All right. How do I make a song with no money or few bucks? What do I need for making a song?
You need a computer. You need some way to capture your vocals into the computer, a USB microphone, and an interface. And you need a DAW, which if you have a Mac, GarageBand is free. If you have a PC, I'm sure there's a PC version. And that's really all you need. Shout out Sean Stevenson. Shout out Sean Stevenson indeed. Is he in the chat? No. Sean Stevenson is the homie. He's super dope. So, yeah, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to wrap this up now. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn notifications on. Hey, tomorrow, 4 p.m., Fan Love Friday music review on this channel. Me and my man Zoe is going to be doing it. Are you going to be around tomorrow? No.
That's a tough one.
It's all right. You don't got to be around. Anyway, come back 4 p.m. Jump on a live stream. Sign up for the remix contest link in the description. Shout out to my man Ahmad, AJ Jackson for being so generous and being willing to mix the winner song. All right, y'all. Peace.